The UK has seen a rise in the number of children struggling with their mental health and well-being. With everyone now focused on well-being as part of their agenda, there's one place we're overlooking: the classroom. My name is Shahana Knight and I'm reinventing UK classrooms. Why? Because the average classroom is cluttered, bright and uncomfortable, and they're not designed around the needs of the children today. Let's be honest, classrooms haven't changed much in the last 50 years, and that's not good enough. It's time to raise standards and redesign a space purposefully, ensuring rooms are trauma-informed and attachment aware. In this series, we'll be sharing the stories of some brave schools who've handed over their classrooms to me as part of their dedication to support mental health and well-being. I will be challenging perceptions, listening to the children, and finally getting rid of those awful plastic tables and chairs. Can we challenge the status quo and set a new standard for UK schools? We're going to try, and it starts here by reinventing classrooms. So this week we're in Swinton with Clare Campbell, the head teacher. She's the head teacher of St Charles Primary School and she's been here for 10 years. Now Clare has really invested her time and energy into the mental health and well-being of the children here. Although she hasn't got a lot of money and she hasn't got a large budget, what she has done is made sure that she can make these projects come to life by putting in bids and fundraising to make sure that her vision for the children still happens regardless of budget. I cannot wait to work on this project with Clare. Now, she saw our very first Reinventing Classrooms documentary and told me that this is the vision and this is the future of education, and I agree. Now, what she said is that she would like to be the very first school to have every single classroom a therapeutic classroom by 2023, and I'm going to help her achieve that vision.
Hi, I'm Clare Campbell and this is my school, St Charles Primary in Salford. We've got about 220 children on roll. We've got about 25% of our children have special needs, and the majority of our special needs register are on for social, emotional, mental health.
I asked Clare to show me around the school and tell me about the things she does to support the children's mental health and well-being. Oh wow. Okay, so this is the art therapy studio. And you've obviously done an art therapy doctorate. Tell me about that and how this amazing space is used for the children.
So when I started my doctorate in special educational needs, I focused on art therapy.
Right.
And I'd always loved art. As a child I used to do art, and I always found great healing qualities in being really therapeutic. And I've seen, as a teacher, I've seen it work that way for my children, so I wanted to study more about it, learn more about it. So you can see just behind you it's set up like a sweet shop, so all the art materials and resources are set up where the children get free choice.
Right, so they can grab what they want.
Yeah, and they work on all different projects, but it's about expressing themselves through art. And for some of our children, we've had children through our doors that have been sexually abused, some that have been through trauma, early childhood trauma, some that have been bereaved, and art therapy just really raises their self-esteem and it gives them their choices back when they've had all their choices taken away. And actually it gives them a bit of a new language, because for some of the things that our children have been through, there are no words to describe what they've been through. So actually expressing themselves through art is a different language for them.
After meeting Clare, I met with some of the children to find out what they felt wasn't working in their classrooms.
I don't like all the displays because they're all bunched up together and you can't really see the work, because say you have French there and you've got English right next to it, that you can't really see the work.
The chairs are too small and the tables are too long, so it's dead hard to just sit down normally.
After hearing what wasn't working, I needed to find out what they did want. I always make sure my designs are based around what the children need from the room.
I'd like to have more comfortable chairs that have fluff on it, and also very tall tables so we have more leg room.
I would have sofas and seats with pillows all over them so you could just lean back and relax on them.
So today's makeover day and I am so excited. This is my favourite day of the whole process because you finally get to see the whole design come together. Claire's asked me to redesign her Year 6 classroom. Now this is a beautiful, light, airy space with lots of gorgeous views out onto the field. However, when I first came into the space, it was full of laminated posters, bright colours, and it felt really chaotic. When a room feels that chaotic, it takes away from the natural, lovely outdoor surroundings. It was so overwhelming you didn't even notice them. So we're going to make over this space and bring that outside in.
I've been a head teacher for 10 years, I've been in education for nearly 25 years, and I think if you do what you always did, you get what you always got. And I used to just look in the catalogue, an educational catalogue, pick it up and say, I'll have that uncomfortable table with those uncomfortable chairs, because I thought that's all you could have. So by reimagining what a classroom can be, you can make it comfortable, you can make it tactile, and you can make it really child-friendly.
Here. Oh. Hopefully they'll fit. Dwayne says they will, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. So what's not working for us is our classrooms are really overloaded, and we're a very arty school, we're a very creative school, we love the arts, but actually it creates extra workload for our teachers because they're constantly changing displays, putting things up, and actually the thinking behind the creative classrooms and the calmer classrooms is, if you wouldn't have it in your home, at home, why would you have it in your classroom? So it just makes sense. We used to use working walls, but the children rarely look at them, they rarely, acknowledge them or use them. So we're going to still do all that work, but it'll be in their workbooks. So their workbooks will be a resource, but the classrooms are just going to be a lot calmer.
I love it when a plan comes together. So Claire's just found this in the cupboard with all the Christmas stuff, and it really does that bring in the nature into the room, which is what I was talking about. This is going to really create that feel of nature, and although it's fake, it'll help calm the children and just get them in a really good place to learn. The story of St Charles' outdoor area is very special to Claire, and on my first visit she told me why. So these trees have got a really special story, haven't they? Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've been here 10 years and we planted these in my first year here, and it's created like a little orchard. So they're all different fruit trees. We've got pears and cherries and apples. And it's just amazing how quickly they've grown. So each child in our school has planted a tree. So sometimes it's a memorial tree, so it's for their loved ones, or so we've got 250 trees that have been planted, and they're all at different stages.
Wow, so every child has their own tree for their own reason?
Yeah.
That is amazing. And you've literally seen these trees grow from babies, haven't you then, if you planted them yourself?
Yeah, so it's incredible. We love the outdoors at St Charles, and we know that the children can learn the whole curriculum outside.
It's amazing. So maybe just a little bit more forward, because otherwise it looks too neat. Right, the only thing is with this is, because that's going to be the seating area, this is where we need to jig a little bit. So I think maybe we need to take that table a little bit that way and this a little bit that way, because we're going to want 2 armchairs here and that. We can't have that right in front of it.
Okay, this one needs to go over a bit.
So I think, if we take that over slightly and this forward slightly, so that there's space at the back there for that seating area.
I absolutely love the idea of doing new classroom, and when I saw the one at Shevington Vale, that really convinced me to do it here, because I was a bit apprehensive that it was a lot to take on as an ECT to kind of implement it and all the work that you have to do obviously before it, like clear it out and things. But when I saw the Shevington Vale one, that was it. It was just so calm and relaxed, and the feeling it was just really homey and nice.
So I absolutely love these chairs. What I like to do is put a sofa or a nice cosy area in every classroom, so there's somewhere the children can break away. These chairs are amazing if you can't fit a sofa in, and they're really, really good quality. They feel really plush and they're so comfortable for the children. Right, do you want to do, so a white basket on every table, and then a plant on that table, and then we're going to put 2 or 3 plants along that table. So every class needs resources, and obviously we've got to make sure that it's practical and the children can use the room as they would every other classroom. So what we've got is these really lovely, cute, small wicker baskets. They were £2 from Primark, and they just sit on the table with all the resources in, and the children can grab them and use them if they need to. We do a nice big plant there. We could maybe do some on the windowsill, maybe one on the desk. Claire, you've done so much to support the children's mental health here, honestly, but you haven't got much of a budget, so how have you funded it all?
So I did deliver art therapy. I'm a governor at another school, so I've been delivering art therapy sessions. My doctorate is in art therapy, and yeah, I love it. So I've been delivering art therapy sessions and doing training for another school, and that has been the funding that we've brought in to do the classroom. But it's really important to say that all of the classroom furniture, it's all going to be recycled, so none of it is going to landfill. We work with a charity called FEW, Furniture Education Worldwide, that are in Burnley, and they collect the furniture and they take it to places like the Gambia and other developing countries. And it's really nice because whenever we donate furniture, they send us photos of the children using it in their schools, so it gets another lease of life.
So you're not even helping just your kids, you're helping children in other schools in other areas as well by doing projects like this.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so inspiring, and I think that's a message that every school needs to hear, that you don't have to be a really rich school with loads of budget to make a difference for your children. You just have to have the passion and the drive, and maybe work a little bit harder than you might want to.
Yeah, for every bid that I've submitted, there might be I might submit 3 bids and only get 1 back, 2 might be unsuccessful. But once you've kind of, you know what you want and you've got the word in, you can just, submit it again and just don't give up.
Yeah, fantastic. So another great tip is to get photographs of the children. I love to make them black and white and have them up on the wall. It'll create a really lovely feel for the kids and make them feel like they belong. This is a really, really good alternative to having backboards with lots of work on them. Another great thing that I absolutely love is tables. So I get our dining tables from Facebook Marketplace. They're between £80 and £100, and they are sturdy, thick and really good quality. There's no point buying a brand new table, and they're great because the children can sit around them, it feels like home, and they can do some good quality work and feel comfortable and relaxed in a really good safe space.
So the one criticism that I've had for embarking on this project is that from high school teachers actually saying that we're not preparing the children for high school. And I would argue that furniture doesn't prepare a child for high school, teachers do. And of course we're preparing our children for high school. We're actually preparing them better because we're encouraging them to be more independent learners and to actually think about thinking. So for them choosing their preferred learning style, their preferred learning space, their preferred learning partner for each and every lesson, it's encouraging them to be more resilient, it's encouraging them to be to have more self-regulation, and it's also in creating more independent learners who will be ready for high school and all the changes that high school transition involves. because they're going to have to get themselves to a different classroom for every lesson, whereas with our flexible seating, it is like a different classroom in every lesson because the children are choosing where they want to sit and who they want to sit next to and where they learn best.
Everything that we buy comes from lots of different places, and that's obviously part of it. We have to source the material. You can't just go into a classroom magazine, but things like this are a great find. This was from the range and it was about $29.99, but it's such a lovely floor cushion. And the children can sit on it, do a bit of reading, and it feels really cozy. Okay, so it's been 6 hours of changing the room, bringing stuff in, redesigning it all. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it looks amazing. It looks like a completely different space, and I can't believe how spacious it is. Like, it's going to be so easy for the children to move around in here, for them to transition from one seating area to another. I think they're just going to love it. I think they're absolutely going to love it.
It's so much more calming as well, don't you think? Like, it's so peaceful in here now.
It's really bright. I think before it was really distracting. We had like red tables, red chairs, loads of colour on the walls, loads of different colour, loads of display. And although I do love display, I love children's artwork, actually you wouldn't have it in your home, so why would you have it in your classroom? And things that we've always had, children's trays, they're just full of junk. Yeah. We don't need them, and actually by removing them, it makes it feel so much more spacious in here.
Yeah.
So.
I think the flow is massive. Like, when I was designing it, I was really worried that it was going to be that we didn't have enough space because there was so much stuff in here, but now we've removed everything out of the room. Actually, there's loads of space in here.
Yeah, you realise how big it actually is. And yeah, I think the children are going to be able to move in here so much easier. I think the bar stool area, that creates a lot more space because that was space that just wasn't used before. And I think they're really going to love working facing the garden. I think they're going to really love that.
You've done so much work out there as well, so to be able to face that and see that nature literally as you're working, that's going to really help the children's mindset when they're working, isn't it, and calm that brain down.
Yeah, it's proven that being outdoors is really good for your mental health. Being outside is really good for your mental health. So I think that by bringing the outdoors in, it's really going to make such a difference. I can't wait to do the whole school.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. We're going to do every single classroom. It's going to be the first therapeutic school. It's going to be amazing. So that's a wrap on our St. Charles makeover. This is an absolutely gorgeous space now. I mean, it was gorgeous before. It was such a large classroom with beautiful windows all the way around. But the overwhelming stuff on the walls and the really bright red was taken away from the beauty of that. When I first came, we had chairs and tables all lined up, and it felt like the room was really small. Now we've got tables that are round and dining tables, so the room really flows and there's loads of space for the children to move and walk around. Of course, all of the seats are really comfortable, and that's going to help to really calm the children down and keep them engaged and keep them learning, rather than being distracted on uncomfortable chairs. But my favourite part of this room are these high bar tables. I always love to get bar tables in wherever I can, facing a window. The beauty of this classroom is that the outside has been purposely planted by Claire herself 10 years ago, and the children can now look out onto those beautiful fruit trees while they're working. So for anybody coming into this space that's maybe dealing with external things that are difficult for them, maybe they've got high stress levels, maybe life is hard or things have been tricky, when they come into this space now, the room itself will help to calm down some of that stress. They can look outside and see the gorgeous environment, they can sit on comfortable seats, and the room feels homely, safe and secure. I'm really proud of what we've achieved here at St. Charles, and I cannot wait to do more classrooms just like this. So it's reveal day and I'm back at St. Charles to show the children the classroom. I cannot wait to see what they think.
My favourite part is, I would say, like the high chairs, because like, you know, they're very high and they're very different to like the other chairs that we had, and they're nice and comfortable.
It'll just make learning more enjoyable and stuff, because it's like it's like you're doing homework.
Like the more comfortable we are, the better we learn, and like so we're not like, you know, wild animals like what she says.
It'll be like this new classroom. It gives me like a home vibe, but like I'm in my own home, as like I never left my home.
Because a normal classroom like full of so bright and stuff, and this is like calm and peaceful and not a bunch of, oh look, there's a bunch of displays there, it's like it's peaceful.
So, if you liked this programme and you're inspired by what you saw today and you want to become a therapeutic class, then please do get in touch and we can come and make over your space. Also, share. Like, subscribe and tell everybody about what you've seen today so we can really spread the message and get this to change the UK.